Think back when you were a child. Was there a version of you that was more openly, fully itself? More curious, more sensitive, more freely expressive, connected to something that other people around you didn't seem to notice or care about. And then at some point, something changed. Not dramatically, but gradually. You started adjusting, making yourself more acceptable, more like what is expected of you. What I want to talk to you about today is what went underground in that process and what it has cost you since then. So, what is happening in the outside? Looking from outside, you're capable, you're functional, perhaps you're successful in what you do, but there is a persistent sense of distance from your own life that you're feeling. It feels like you are not truly present in everything you do, but you're kind of like watching your own life through the window, through the glass. And something alive in you feels like it's somewhere else. It's not here, it's waiting for you, but it's somewhere else. And I want to ask you a question. How much of your daily life is quiet, constant adjustment? You saying less than you think or that you sense. You making yourself smaller as not to seem strange or out of ordinary. It signals that the costume that you're wearing has become so comfortable, so habitual, that you have forgotten it is a costume. It is not the real you. So what is the star archetype and how the shadow pattern of the star archetype forms? Because this is exactly what we are talking about today. The shadow pattern of the star archetype. It forms in somebody who is carrying a very fine-tuned, vast perception of the world. They are not just tuned to the seeming world, but they are tuned to what lies beneath it, to beauty, to vastness, to many things what other people walk past without even noticing. Because there are people who carry this ability to finally sense the world in its vastness and complexity since their childhood. Often they can spend hours in nature alone. They inhabit the world inside them that feels to them much more real than the ordinary world. People who are sensitive to atmosphere, to things unspoken. And this sensitivity is a genuine gift, but it requires being received by others, as all of us. We need to be seen and reflected back. And very often this pattern, this ability, acute sensitivity, is not reflected back when you are a child. Maybe you shared what you were sensing, your thoughts, your feelings, and it wasn't understood. Maybe you were told to toughen up, to be more practical, to stop dreaming, not necessarily out of cruelty, but simply because the people around you were not tuned to the frequency that you were tuned to. And so you learn gradually that this part of you is not safe to show to others. You didn't lose it, but you learn to live and perform without it. And what is the cost of this? Of this becoming a shadow instead of its full expression? It carries certain kind of tiredness of never being fully present in your own life. It carries the cost of the talents that go undeveloped and unexpressed, the gifts that are not brought out and shared with others. It's this constant sense that the most real part of you has been living in a kind of exile, permanently banished from your everyday life. And what you carry when you are fully yourself is not ordinary. This sensitivity that was called too much, that strangeness to others, it's not your weakness, it's your gift. And because of the shadow pattern, it has been absent from the rooms you walk into, and it needs to be brought back. So I want to give you a practice, a simple one. Think back, when did you last feel fully like truly yourself? Absorbed in something, alive, connected to something larger. What were you doing when you were feeling that? And is there a small version of that available now? through something you can do or experience. Maybe it's art, music, some kind of movement, photography, nature, anything that doesn't require logic or words to get it right. And you don't even have to share it with others. You don't have to be good at it. Just let it exist in your life. Find pockets of time to give this space, to do those things, to experience that state of being. Because those daily roles and performances are not who you are, they are what you wear. And you can consciously set them aside. Not forever, you don't need to turn your life upside down for this. Just create pockets of time and space where you can just be who you really are. And this is where it begins, in small private moments of genuine expression. And what is the goal in this archetype? When the star archetype pattern becomes fully alive, it does something extraordinary simply by being present. Because the world has no shortage of functional, productive, sensible people, but it has a profound shortage of people who can connect others to something larger, to beauty, to vastness, to the dimension of existence most of us rush past without noticing. You can call it soul, you can call it beauty, you can call it cosmos. Because these kind of people remind others that we are souls, we are not just roles, that there is more to this life than getting things done. And when the star archetype gets unleashed in you, when it steps forward fully without the costume, just by its natural essence of being, something happens in others who witness it because they feel it, they see it, they sense it, and something in them stirs in response. So you can see this archetype and opening up to it fully as a form of service through just being who you are, just being visible in who you are. And your willingness to be fully yourself gives others exactly the same permission. They also can do that. And that is so valuable gift to others. So if what I have described today has felt like recognition, if there is a part of you that knows exactly what I mean by the sensitivity, the vastness that went underground, that is hiding, I want to invite you to take the shadow archetypes quest and explore if this or some other shadow pattern through an archetype not fully expressed in you, but expressed through its shadow side, is operating in your life right now. Because this is how we move towards its full power, through bringing it into consciousness first, and then learning how to start opening the other side of the archetype that brings us to its full expression, to its full beauty, and bringing you to your full beauty and full expression.